Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, hello? Delightful. We're back.
Not started recording it.
Oh,
Made that mistake before. Hello.
hi, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Two Set Violin. Really fun video today. So, contemporary music innovates. It's the future. Spiccato ricochet, Paganini was doing that 200 years ago. We got some new violin techniques today, and we're gonna try and see if we can perform them.
Oh, it's violin. Okay. Worst instrument. I mean, quite legitimately. Sorry, I feel like I should match them bad take for bad take. Um, I mean, violin. Do I actually think the violin's a bad instrument? It's my least favorite orchestral instrument. I'll just say that. Because if it can't reach the bass, then what are you really doing with your life?
So, what we're gonna do is we'll try to interpret and play it just by sight reading. Then we'll listen to how it's being played and how it's meant to sound, and we'll attempt it again. You ready?
I'm calling it now. Cage Etudes Australis. Is that even what it is? Just a moment. I need to flex my immense knowledge. Is that for violin? No, okay. No, it was for piano. So what's the violin? What violin? The Freeman Etudes. That's right. Oh,
I am not ready, but I am ready. I've had my fair share of contemporary.
You should compose one.
50,000 likes and I've composed one for the greater cause.
First one, Alessandro Perini. The piece is called On the Day My Left Ear Became a Frog.
But how does it become a frog?
Maybe the violin's meant to sound like a frog, I don't know.
Okay.
With no context, barely audible.
60.
Why is there an 8 above the treble clef?
Well, there's no bar lines.
why is there an 8? Is that the first thing you notice? I'm a little confused. I have to be be honest with you. So it's at 60 beats per minute. Now there's symbols here, the I, and this is I think a beginner mistake for those of you who who don't or aren't acquainted with this extremely niche genre of music, rather playing this extremely niche genre of music, is that generally the composer will tell you how to play it, uh, what the heck this means. So why there's the I in the circle. What does this mean? You don't have to interpret it for yourself because it's not self-explanatory. For example, I'm currently doing an analysis of the Radulescu um, fifth string quartet. Um, it's right here actually. It's scary stuff. It's horrifying. It really is. Might just chuck it up on screen for a little bit. But at the very beginning, it doesn't necessarily make things too much less confusing, but it does show you what all of these symbols mean, and there's an internal logic to it, and it's very useful. In fact, it's impossible to interpret contemporary music, or very difficult to interpret contemporary music. You can give it a go, but if you want any degree of um, lip service accuracy, so the composer doesn't yell at you. Again, I'm the kind of the person who cares the least quantity about that. Um, you know, if you're playing my music, all bets are off. I'm just glad you're here.
There's no time signature. Left hand is a harmonic.
Oh, there's a left hand.
No time signature. Is that a problem? Have they never heard of Gregorian chant? Oh, that's fair enough. I don't know. I find it's funny. It's a funny way of making content. To put. I mean, again, I suppose the concept is to identify the strangeness, and that. I mean, I guess I understand that, but it isn't obviously, probably for humorous purposes, it's obviously misrepresentation of the thing that you're attempting to convey. It's an intellectual dishonesty, I should suppose I could say. Um, Then again, though, it is music that I mean, you are. I can't deny that you are creating music, and it is based upon uh the score. So I suppose it's inspired by the notation, and that in of itself is perhaps a worthy endeavor. Is it disrespectful? I don't care. I don't care. It's not like an amazing piece or anything. Um, at least from not from what I've heard. But I probably I'm just going around in circles, aren't I? Um, regardless, uh, yeah. If you want to be inspired by the notation, read the whole notation. That includes, the front material, which tells you what the funny looking characters mean going on.
Why is there an I and a P and an I?
It's a P-I-P-I-P-P.
Next page.
They look like Pingu.
Senza staccato arco.
Is that actually on this page? I feel like the editor might have messed up because I don't see any senza staccato, etc. So wait, they said you're crescendoing into PPP. Is that what it's?
Oh, two strings, sorry. It goes from what? P to crescendos into PPP?
Okay, yeah, the editor messed up, obviously.
Why is there a sonic wave up here? What is going on?
Oh, it's like this, really? I don't know what he's really.
Schnitke would be very disappointed in you. It obviously goes rather than whatever you. It's not prolonged count. There's a 2 second thing there. It's like and you're done, right? It's perfect. It's easy. Contemporary music is easy.
What is
The
going
sound
on?
waves.
Oh, the left hand's got some more stuff now, finally.
Oh.
Again, I don't really care, but I feel like they're trying to make an accurate representation of the sheet music. I mean, actually, no. Obviously, they're having fun, but I suppose it'll just be better if they title the video. Well, probably won't give them as many views, but it'll be more accurate if they title the video "Extended Improvisation Upon Contemporary Notation." Since they're doing the bare minimum to attempt to capture what the notation says. I mean, again, they're playing the ricochets, the string crossings. There are no string crossings, and there's not even anything that looks like an arpeggio here.
Fair enough.
Interesting. Interesting!
Interesting. Next, Underground Ritual by Anton Koshelev. SP
I do know Koshelev. He's pretty cool.
is Sopont, right? What's MSP?
Maybe it's like less
Aha. Aha ha ha. Aha. Aha ha.
sopont.
Yeah, and that's definitely Sotasto. Right?
Yes.
What is this? 10.
10 seconds.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is 10 seconds.
Is it?
Dash a second?
Okay. I think so, yeah.
I'm just confused. How do they like how do they know that uh SP, right? They know that ST is Sol Tussville. They know that SP is Sol Ponticello. How do they not make the connection that MSP is Molto? You know,
Yeah, true.
But then why is there A flat, C flat, E flat here?
seems like they just ripped everything off Score Follower. Good on them. Let's look at the performance notes. Where are performance notes? Where are my performance notes? Yep. Yep, as we saw. So open sound. Ein Moment. So yeah. So play on the head joint. Yeah, makes sense. Yes, semi-harmonics. Full change of bow position. Ah, so it's where you put the bow. Makes sense. Yes. Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected. So yeah, so you're bowing on certain nodes in order to, uh, yeah, okay, no, that's difficult to do on the violin. I thought it was only really possible on like a cello, possibly a viola. Didn't know it could be done on the violin. I've learned something. Don't see that every day.
You know what the sound? It sounds like
Yeah, really cool. So the B flat head joint.
we spend our whole life trying to make the violin not sound like that, and it's like reverting back to. Yeah.
I've heard your Sibelius. You have not succeeded.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty cool, the sound effects they can achieve, but
That's yeah, the sound effect.
it's a different language. Most musicians
I'm triggered.
would need to spend time to relearn what all this means.
It feels
what
like
is this?
it feels like I'm speaking to like a new species, like an alien invaded Earth, and we're just trying to.
Well, yeah, I suppose that is the thing. Is because of the lack of exposure that um uh contemporary music has kind of had to the outside of film, I suppose, and horror movies, soundtracks, etc. People look at it like something that's incredibly different when it's grown out of the same place. There's just one language has not evolved particularly, and another language, in an attempt to sustain itself, has evolved a lot. So much so that it's a little bit like comparing old English to modern English. You know, you understand that which instruments are playing, but it doesn't have the same kind of grammar, doesn't have the same kind of sentence structure. Yeah, it's part of grammar. Doesn't really have the same grasp of aesthetics. But I honestly don't think that's too big of a deal. When I listen to a piece of music, I find it is not very difficult to appreciate it for what it is, and simply put aside. Um, well, I understand a lot of people can't do that, but I feel that I do put aside a lifetime of subtle conditioning in order to simply enjoy it for what it is, and enjoy the gut feeling that it gives me. Because the gut feeling that these pieces gives me, I don't associate it with horror movies. I refuse to. And that's not a difficult thing to do, at least for me. And when something like that is beautiful, I don't have to classify it as a sound effect. Um, I mean, you can, but only because you've heard it as sound effects in the past. I try to, you know, hear it as not as its purest form, but I try to bring my purest self to the listening experience, and that's how I'm able to enjoy these things. Yeah, I called it. Yeah, 3 minute tunes, John Cage.
And then what's this line like? Is that just the going like down to the P and then going up and then go all the way up at the very end?
Yeah, is that line really necessary, or is it just to make it look cool? I don't understand.
It's like he's so lazy he couldn't move the stem in the right place for the higher note, so he just did one line.
Yeah, right.
John Cage destroyed. John Cage was a lazy man. I wonder if they're going to make a 433 joke.
I'm gonna break the rules. Oh, sorry. Bado, bado, bado.
Wait, what was that? So I see a cursor there.
Bado, bado, bado.
Yeah, they just oh dear. Oh dear. I mean that's not that bad, I suppose. It's just why are they using why are they reading this off of a video? Can't you just get the sheet music? Wouldn't that be better? Certainly you won't have to do with compression. Wow. Interesting. Interesting.
What is contemporary look, let's listen to it.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I was thinking this before, because I've listened to many of the Freeman etudes, but obviously not for a while since I got them mixed up with the Etudes Australis. Um, but yeah, I thought it would be kind of obvious that if these notes are linked together, they're going to be played together. Yeah, it's also a really weird thing to call someone lazy for that. Like I understand we're just joshing here, but um like how I'm not sure if they've ever worked with like any kind of extensive notation software. The notation software is very rarely conducive to avant-garde uh, writing. So to actually be able to do this, well, you couldn't do this in MuseScore. It'd be very difficult. Um, but yeah, something like Dorico, this would still take a decent amount of know-how. And I mean, this was probably engraved with Freeman etchings done. They'll suffocate its later works. Um, but yeah, this would take quite a while to engrave. So I don't think, yeah, I think laziness is an interesting way of putting it.
What does the bottom two lines mean? I don't understand.
It's bubble but in silence, like John Cage.
Yeah, I knew that there was a joke there coming at 4:33. It's like John Cage. It's funny because it's well known that our audience of 5-year-olds will understand. Probably not 5-year-olds. It's not Davy 504. Probably, or rather, they're not Davy 504. Well, maybe they are. Because I'd say Davy 504's audience is probably about 5 to 7. 5 to 7. Say the average two set was probably 12. The average Rackman John watcher is 45 at least.
I'm just thinking about all the composers that never achieved John Cage's fame.
No.
Writing beautiful music, and then this guy writes that.
I mean, it's pretty beautiful in its own way. It's like. Actually, I thought he did a technique. You know, on the violin, you can actually play an octave higher if you press hard enough.
They know about subharmonic. I mean, wait, did he say an octave higher?
I thought he did a technique. You know, on the violin, you can actually play an octave higher if you press.
No, it's an octave lower, you idiot! Ha 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 ha. You suck. Music. I'm so much better than you. Mwah. No, but seriously, I don't blame it. I'm just glad that I knew about it because it's a pretty cool technique. I write with it. If anyone played my works. Actually, no, that's a cool thing. I if TwoSet sees this video and responds like drops a comment, I will write you a piece of contemporary music that I think you might actually enjoy.
I don't know, bad technique.
You know, do you think people like this, it's like an elaborate inside joke and they're laughing at us? These moves.
That's why they call him Lachenmann, because he's a man that laughs at you for trying to critique his music when he's actually just massively autistic.
Like, I'm all for like intellectual music, but I feel like at the end of the day, I can't relate to it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm all for I'm all for intellectual music, but I don't really relate to intellectual things. Not like not to say like it's bad or anything. I just don't relate to like intellectualism. Ouch.
I think it's our first time sight reading contemporary violin music. It's been fun.
Please subscribe.
Oh yeah, 50,000 likes and Brett will write his first contemporary violin double concerto. That would be sick.
Check out apparel. We need funding for the next contemporary.
That's enough out of you. Very entertaining. I think the boys did well. I learned about John Cage in my music class, and apparently has a piece called 433, where the composer makes no noise at all. No notes played, just silence and other ambient noises from the audience. That's literally the whole piece. Lol. Hey, Procman. Hey, what's he doing?